Hello BookTube. It's been a while since I've said that, about 6 weeks. Yeah, life has just been kind of hectic for the last while. There's been some remodeling going around the house, flooring and such, but I have been reading still these last few weeks, which is a good thing. So one of my goals for this month is to have my March and April wrap-up videos finished and uploaded by the end of May here, and update my Goodreads profile with all the ratings and such of what I've read. Speaking of monthly goals, a while ago I signed up for the Bookemon readathon as created by Megan of Tome Infinity. Her announcement video will be linked below. There has been a couple of changes since then, but basically you earn badges for the books you read over the month, and you can earn some points by the number of pages you read over May 3rd to 17th. I've been assigned to Team Instinct, which is led by the aforementioned Megan as well as Josh of Beards and Books. His channel I will also link down below. Alright, I'll be going in alphabetical order for the badges I'm trying to earn, which means A is for Archival Badge. This is for alternate history, and for this one I've chosen to read Blood's Game by Angus Donald. He wrote a Robin Hood retelling series which has been relatively well regarded, though I haven't read it myself. This is centered around two characters, Holcroft Blood, who works for the Duke of Buckingham and is a mathematical genius, and his father, Colonel Thomas Blood, who has become rather destitute and fallen into disrepute, and ends up being approached as part of a conspiracy to steal the crown jewels from King Charles II in 1670. The second badge I'm going for this month is the Chiller badge, which is for mystery thriller novels. For this I'll be reading Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a book I don't really know a ton about, but it's very hyped. I know Emily Fox speaks extremely highly of it. Basically, from what I gather, the main character, Jason, is kidnapped and wakes up in a sort of alternate universe, which is one of my favorite science fiction tropes of all time. So I'm excited to see what it's all about and if it's as great as people say it is. The third badge on this list is actually the first one I'm going for this month, and that is the Diversity badge, where we have to read a book by and or about marginalized communities, and for that one I have chosen The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is another highly regarded book in the SFF community. I know the second in the Devabad trilogy was just dropped earlier this year sometime. This novel centers on Nari, a con woman in 18th century Cairo who ends up accidentally summoning a jinn. Now, I've long loved Egypt. I was there a few years ago now, so I'm excited to see this look into Egyptian history. I think a lot of people are more familiar with pharaonic ancient Egypt, so a look in this time period should be quite interesting, especially with the fantasy twist. Fourthly is the Fantastical badge, which, as one may assume, is for the fantasy genre. For this one I will hopefully be reading A Labyrinth of Science and Sorcery by Curtis Craddock. This is the second in the Risen Kingdom series. Now this was on my March TBR, but was the one book I didn't manage to get through. Spoiler alert for my wrap-up, and obviously I didn't read it in April either. So hopefully this readathon will give me some motivation to get through it. It's the second in the Risen Kingdom series, which as far as I've seen on BookTube has flown a bit under the radar. I enjoyed the first one, An Alchemy of Masks and Mirrors, gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars, and if you like steampunk fantasy and smart heroines, I would certainly recommend it. Alright, we're over halfway there with badge number 5, the Know-It-All badge, which is for non-fiction. For this I am looking to read Legion vs. Phalanx by Mike Cole. The Roman military tactics and organization were different from the phalanx of ancient Greece and other civilizations, and how it led to the dominance of Rome. Next up is the Memory badge for autobiographies and memoirs. For this I'm going to take a look at A Fighting Chance by Elizabeth Warren. I've been a fan of Liz's since she first started coming across my timeline, sort of in the lead up to her run to the Senate in 2012. If I was an American, she would certainly be my choice for the Democratic nominee and president. The 7th badge I'll be trying to do is the Rainbow badge, which, as the name implies, features novels with LGBTQ plus themes and characters. For this I am planning to read Witchmark by C.L. Polk. This Nebula-nominated novel takes place in a sort of Edwardian England-inspired setting and focuses on Miles Singer, who has a choice between using his magic to follow his family's ambition or be locked into a sort of magical asylum. He ends up choosing a third path where he joins the army, fakes his own death, and then becomes a doctor under new identity, as you do. And he finds out one of his patients has been poisoned, and he tries to investigate it as his own past starts unraveling around him. And as the fact that I've chosen this for the Rainbow badge shows, Miles is gay. Now I've chosen this for the Rainbow badge because Miles is gay, and there's another major character that I've been spoiled to that is as well, other than his love interest, of course, I mean. The 8th and final badge I'll be going for is the Scientific badge, which requires us to read a science fiction novel. Such a hardship. For this I've elected to read Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, maybe better known as Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. Now, I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of The Expanse back when it started airing, and I honestly wasn't that gripped, but I thought I'd try the books, and this seems like a good opportunity. Alright, so I'm going for only 8 out of the possible 15 badges, because A, that's how Pokemon works, and B, just to try and keep this a bit more realistic. But I will also be reading one more book for this readathon, and that is our Team Instinct featured book, Foundry Side, by Robert Jackson Bennett. Now, this is a book I don't really know a lot about. I've been saying that a lot this video, haven't I? Not that that's entirely a bad thing, but other than it's about a heist and it takes place in a sort of industrialized, semi-advanced, magical setting. So we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so those are my 9 novels for the month of May and the Bookemon Badgeathon. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider leaving a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to Better Read with Saul, then please do consider doing so. For me for now, and I will hopefully see you soon.